Welcome back, guys, to another Old World Fanatics battle report. This is actually a review of the our live stream that we did last Thursday with Andrew, who is actually on the call here, but we had to turn his video off. We've had some storms come through, and his internet's playing up a bit. So you there, Andrew?
Yes, I am, with my
Cool.
3.5 megabits per second of internet speed.
No worries. All good. Hopefully, well, we thought we were going to do some battle reports as well as the live stream, just because I know not everyone has 3.5 or 4 hours to watch us get the rules wrong. So I put this together, and I'm going to turn my screen off, my camera too, as well, just so it's not taxing your internet there, Andrew. The whole plan was to do the live stream and take pictures, and I think I took pictures of deployment, and that was it. So I just forgot. There was so much going on. Hey, doing the live stream. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. It was
a lot
just
in
with
your
the
brain,
comments and there's a lot of management of stuff.
Yeah, no, we'll work that out. But it was good for a first. I don't think we did too many things. We got like little rule things wrong as usual in our second game, but I think everything else went pretty smooth considering it's our second time playing the game and live streaming first time. So
yeah, even rule wise, I don't think there was anything huge in there.
There's more stuff we just missed for our own benefit, probably.
Yeah,
there wasn't anything we got wrong. I don't think too much.
Yeah,
not bad.
Nah,
so.
Nothing terrible. Yeah.
Run through that in a podcast.
Yeah.
So basically, it's 2,000 points this time. My Orcs and Goblins, first time out. From this point forward, I assume no one's actually watched our live stream. And took on the vampires again that Andrew's playing around with different lists. It was a bit of a fun game. We sort of tooled some stuff up. So we'll go... let's just go to deployment. So, I'll go through my Orcs first. Sorry, I took screenshots of the stream. So that's the only way I could get pictures out, which is a bit dumb on my part. But as I said, we'll get better as we do more of these. So I'm going right to left on my deployment here. I've got 2 Orc chariots. My Black Orc war boss on a wyvern. He's full plate shield, giant blade, talisman of protection, troll hide trousers. So he's got a 2 up. 5 up, with the giant blade as well. Then I've got 15 Black Orcs. Nothing much else except for the big red raggedy flag, even that doesn't look like they've got a raggedy flag. Next to them is, I think it's 15 Night Goblins. They're supposed to be spearmen, but I don't have any of them, with 3 fanatics as usual. And at the back there, you can see my other wyvern. So it's a double wyvern build with an Orc weird knob. Level 4 with the knobbly staff that allows him to reroll. I got 1 mangler. You're gonna have to excuse the bases as usual because we haven't transferred everything over yet. 10 squig herds with 2 prodders, whatever they're called. A Night Goblin big boss with cav spear basically and heavy armor and shield on giant cave squig. 10 hoppers and a Arachnarok spider. So 3 big gribbly type, like 2 wyverns and a spider and just a bit of squig fun. So no idea if it's going to go well, but that's what I took.
Yeah.
So you can see what I've got up there, Andrew.
Yeah,
cool.
So I'll start off on left of screen. So I was running 3 Vargheists with the champ in there, the Vargoyle, I think they call it. These guys actually turned out pretty well. I won't get into it too much, but I discounted these guys. I thought they weren't going to be as good as they were, but they actually went pretty good. So I was running a unit of 11 ghouls, 5 dogs. Behind the dogs, you can see my vampire count. So he was running with... he was going with no armor, and he was just using the dragon's armor because he's a wizard. So he was a level 2 wizard. He was running with the talisman of protection for a 5 up. He's got a 5 up ward. Sorry, he's got a 5 up inbuilt regen save for being a vampire, and he's got a 4 up save from the dragon. On top of that, he had the dragon slaying sword, which I'm sure most people know is your monster slaying sword that you get out of the Big Blue Book. He has Master of the Black Arts, which gives him a extra wizard level, because the maximum wizard level we can take for a vamp is 2, so now it's a 3. Dark Acolyte, which gives him the Invocation of Nehek, which I forgot a lot. And he was running Illusion as his spell. Can't even use my words.
Law.
Spell law, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I got my dogs here trying to jump all over me. Yeah, sweet. So next slide, please. Cool. So next to that, this is one of 2 Vargulfs. And then I was running 14 Crypt Horrors here in open order formation. And then up the end of the board, I was running another Vargulf, as you can see, another unit 14 ghouls in open order. I was running 3 Fellbats in behind them. As you can see on top of the hill, this guy actually went really well. He's my Strigoi Ghoul King. So he was on top of Terrorgeist, and he was pretty much naked. He was just running the Ogre Blade out of the Big Blue Book, and that was it. And then on the left of that, it was another 11 ghouls running skirmish formation.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I rolled for first turn and got it, which in this edition now, at least at the open battle or whatever, you have to actually go first.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't really want you were pretty quick as I recall. So just with my deployment, I mean, I always thought going into this that, and I know my general's not positioned very well because he's out on one side, but I was thinking most of my stuffs, except for the Night Goblins, was immune to psych. The Black Orcs actually aren't anymore, which I screwed that up. But in my head, my whole deployment was going to be spiders down one flank and the chariots and my general down the other to try and sort of a pincer type thing.
Yeah.
But as we'll see what happens. But that was why I sort of put them out that side as things were deploying. And then I think they got countered a little bit because you got such fast flyers over there. Then my chariots are sort of going, I don't know if I'll get a charge off there. But that's what I was planning when I did this sort of deployment.
Yeah.
And then, but getting first turn, it was more of a choice. Like, if I push hard, then you're getting the charges. So
Yeah.
I don't think I did a lot in my first turn. Here it is. Pushed up a little bit in the middle. Obviously, the manglers and the random movements pushed out hard because I had to, because I rolled them. But everything else sort of hung back, and my general sort of wheeled around and did some stuff just to, again, stay back in case the chariots got charged and then he could come in. So that was sort of my strategy there. Not great, but and then my wyvern was hanging back too because he didn't want to get charged. And plus, I guess I've got to get used to the magic in terms of being in the front arc. So it's a bit weird with the wizard on the unless he's full combat wizard to go in and to fight. It was a bit of a challenge I thought that I was having there. But I don't think I got really anything else off in turn 1. So then I think it goes straight into your turn 2.
Yeah. Did you, because I was going to hit my spells actually, did you want to hit your spells?
Oh yeah, man, I can't remember what they were. I think I had the that Here We Go and that Sun one, which is good, the Evil Sun.
Oh, yeah,
that's
right. Yeah,
had
yeah.
Foot. And I can't remember what the other one was. Yeah, do your spells, mate. Sorry, I forgot about what mine, because they're pretty ineffectual on mine.
Nah.
One of yours wasn't.
Well, yeah. So I happened to get the Doppelganger, the Spectral Doppelganger, which is obviously a very good spell. So that's your 2d6 attacks. It's an assailment spell using the attacks of the character, including like all his weapons and everything. So
and that's on your vamp, and he's only level 2.
Yeah. Well, level 3 with the Dark Acolyte, but yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. So it's about 50% chance you're going to get it. And then he had, I forget what the other spell was, but it was basically the one that is, I think it's plus like -1 for you to hit me, or wound. I'm pretty sure it's hit. And then I was running the Raised Dead, and obviously he had the Invocation of Nehek, which I forgot for a hell of a lot of the game.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's your turn, basically. Like, I pushed up, that was about it, and then I think you unloaded some charges.
Yeah. So I've pushed up quite aggressively, as you can see. So I had Frenzy on some things. So I did. Did I have to charge on the right? I think I might have been out on the right. I'm not too sure if you came close enough for my Vargulf, so I don't think you did. Vargeist, sorry. So I
I
didn't.
think we kept it outside of 11 or something on the chart, or whatever
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, or whatever.
yeah. So basically, they didn't have, but the other Vargulf wasn't in range as well. But the Vargulf that you see charging in was in range of your Mangler Squig.
Yeah.
I was kind of happy with that, funnily enough,
Mm.
because I thought he was. I won't have any spoilers, but thought he was going to do pretty well.
Yeah.
And then basically, yeah, I brought the dogs up. As you can see on the right of screen, it's chaff in front of your two chariots there. And obviously following up behind them, hoping for some sort of a charge, was going to be the ghouls. And then basically I was sort of bringing my dragon, my Vargul from other ghoul unit, close enough to your black orcs that hopefully, I was going to be able to get in there at some point. And then, yeah, on my left flank, as you can see, my bats have kind of done this weird. They didn't do a very good job, but my fell bats try to chaff your spider and everything else you had going on there in the middle, with your squig hoppers. Although I couldn't really chaff your squig hoppers, it was mainly there for the spider. But they just didn't have enough movement to get right in front of him. So I was hoping maybe just to block the distance of your overrun. And then obviously you can see the ghouls and everything have moved up in support. So yeah, that was my turn for movement.
And then the Mangler took out your Vargolf.
Mangler took it out, all right.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, because I went first, and did I do one wound, I think?
Yeah, one or two. Yeah, it was one or two. I can't remember. I can see
Yeah,
the dice
it wasn't
there,
a
but I can't
lot.
remember what it was.
Yeah. And yeah, you just, because obviously you didn't have the impact hits, but you still had the your random attacks and your stomp, and you absolutely
basically, yeah. I think I might have rolled
decimated.
6 or something on the attacks. I can't remember what it was, but yeah.
Yeah. So
And
yeah.
I think you must have done did you do the whale against my other
Oh,
cave
correct.
squig?
Yes, I did. Yeah, your cave squig, the
He
boss
was left
guy.
with one wound because he's only out there.
Yeah,
He had leadership 5 or 6 or something like that. It was pretty poor.
something like that. Yeah. And yeah, he just still couldn't get enough to pop him.
Yeah, so I just rolled well to keep him alive for at least that bit. And then into my turn 2, yeah. So then I loaded up a bunch of charges, and I'll talk about that last one in a minute, I think. So the chariots went in. Kept forgetting they were actually individual for a bit. I'm used to Tomb Kings. I think when they ended up overrunning at one point, I was like measuring just one of them and stuff. But that was funny.
Yeah.
We also did a screw up where I did your impact hits, wiped you guys off, and then realised through the chat that we couldn't do the impact hits. So we took it all back, but I still wiped them off. So then that was funny. Spiders went into your fell bats. The Mangler had to, I rolled enough that they just went into the flank of your ghouls there. And then I do believe this Black Orc one was a really long charge, so I don't know if I tried it or I didn't do it. And then I realised I hadn't cast enhancements yet, and I think enchantments, and we went, yeah, that's fine, just do it, because I don't know if I'd moved anything yet. And then I got the +1 movement up on them.
Yeah.
That's what that was, or the +D3 one. I can't remember what that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I don't think you quite. I think you're umming and ahhing, and then I think that's when you realised, and then we went back and
Yeah, and then I got that off, and then so they did a pretty long charge and got into those units of ghouls as well. You can't see my general, but he failed his charge into the. He probably should have been able to make it, but I rolled double ones for his charge. And then Swift Stride, but I don't know if we'll go through this in the pod later. I can't remember. Did we do it wrong with taking the 1 from the double charge, like the 2 dice from the charge, and not adding the Swift Stride for the overrun, for the failed charge? I can't remember. Did someone say we did that wrong?
Yeah, somebody was saying because it's a modifier, so you do your failed charge plus your modifier.
Okay, we'll have to have a look at that. But yeah, otherwise, because he would have obviously moved up a lot further. Otherwise, he only went an inch.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, they went in. There's just a shot of the chariots. Yeah, they wiped a bunch of dogs. They went in. They actually did, crumbled those guys down to 1, and he pushed back. I chose not to follow up because I just wanted to sort of make sure I could take these guys on. I think the other, maybe the Vargolf or Vargeist, whatever it is, would have been on my flank otherwise. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was. That's right. Yeah, you
Yeah.
repositioned, so it wasn't
So
going to
he's
be on your
sort of
flank.
in the flank, so I just didn't follow up and did a reform instead.
Yeah.
Interestingly, he had some comments somewhere too that, like, I probably knew I was going to get attacked. So this is probably one of those times where you do think about going into Linehammer here because you get a free reform. Reforming right out really long probably would have been an interesting play, which you're just not used to even thinking about. I don't overly like that, and I hope it gets comped at some point where it's not like the thing to do. If it's like, because in this case I would have gone it would have been 15 wide, which I don't know, it's a bit poor. But anyway,
Yeah.
We'll see how the game
Is it
evolves.
one of those things where you can only go up and down 5, or is it a full?
No, it's a full reform there. So you
Okay,
pivot and reform. So as long as you're in the center of your unit, I guess. So where the impassable was probably would have stopped me a bit.
Although you might have been able to angle it possibly, to get past
maybe.
that.
I probably could have done a massive, like, I don't really have. Can you see my cursor? Probably not. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe I could have done something like along that line. I don't know. Maybe not though, because your guy's here, so I would have had to stay out an inch. So it's possibly that I couldn't do it. It looks like I took off those. The Mangler destroyed the ghouls.
Yeah.
And
yes,
that was about it. And the Squig Hoppers went into Terragrass just to try and stop, see what they could do with their little impact hits. And then the Spider popped those guys. And at this point, I'm like, oh, cool, I'm just destroying units here. This is fun.
Yeah.
Little do I know, they're just pretty cheap crap units here. But anyway, this must have been the overrun into there as well. I can't remember exactly what happened there. Somehow my guys
I remember we were looking into how the overruns worked, if you could get one for random movement.
Movements,
Obviously you could, so.
So that's probably how the board ended. Obviously my Wyverns moved up a bit, but not a whole lot otherwise. I'm just now waiting for your turn 3, I think.
Yeah, and obviously
looks like you did. Sorry, your Terrorgeist did destroy my my Hoppers didn't stand a chance against your Terrorgeist guy, and that's when I realised, oh crap, this guy's good.
Yeah. There you go, all right. So this was my turn.
I think I've got a charge. I do.
Yeah. So obviously the Vargulf went in, and the dragon into your Black Orc unit. I did a bit of a dodgy charge over here, which I did read about previously, but I actually completely forgot about the rule, how you've got to go in as straight and as the least distance as possible. So I wouldn't have actually been able to, because I was trying to move away from your, mainly your Mangler, because I'm like, oh man, if your Mangler gets in, I could be in a lot of trouble. And then I've also charged, that's right. I had the ghouls, and I was trying to charge them into your Mangler, but I couldn't see over my Terrorgeist. So I've had to bring the ghouls into your boss, Goblin boss, So that's them over there.
If you go back to that, you can sort of see how that was positioned there. You couldn't. But you could see through here. Yep, that's right.
Yeah. I could see him with the bottom right sort of guy. So they managed to get over as well.
That's just them going in there. Probably nothing different. They're in there. This might be the combat here because I've got dice at the back, so I might have been taking. I don't know how many pages I've got of your turn here, so we might.
Yeah.
Did you do anything? You probably didn't do anything shooting. Are we straight into combat, maybe?
The only thing I did, the only shooting I would have done was the Wailing Dirge into your Spider. And I think it actually took a few wounds off from memory. It wasn't going too bad on this, in this battle report compared to the last time we used it. So over here.
You took a bunch off, and I can't remember. Oh, because this is right. You were nice to me. Kept going, are you going to challenge? I'm like, should I? And then, I probably should. And that's when you did a lot of damage with this guy, but only capped it at 5.
Yeah.
You destroyed. And that's where you were going, damn, I should have brought that one little ghoul dude. He should have, because he's a champ. He should have he should have charged in, because then at least he could have taken the challenge.
Instead of just trying to save whatever points he had. Because he hasn't got a lot of points, really, that unit. Like, it would have been half of stuff all. But yeah, obviously that hurt me a little bit in combat res.
You did take
And
it's
then-
not here, but you took like the whole back rank and something else off there. I think. Oh no, no, sorry, they're in challenge. Yeah, for this combat you didn't. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was only the Vargulf I think that went in. I don't think he did all that well, the Vargulf. So yeah, the ghouls all died. Oh no,
no, I
they got
didn't do
pushed
a
back.
whole lot. I think I might have even done
right.
like one on the impact hits or something. But
Yeah.
because they got pushed back, then I pivoted because it was going into my next.
Yeah,
turn.
yeah. Sorry, because you didn't get the impact hits. Oh, did you?
I can't remember. Were they too close on this one? Maybe. Yeah, because this guy overran further than the other one. I think you're right. I think it was something like that. Yeah.
So yeah, he's pivoted.
So that's not right. I don't know why I put that there. He pivoted, just ready to. And then it goes into my turn. So there probably wasn't much else. I'm trying to remember what these guys
on the left flank. So they failed their charge. Sorry, as well. So that's right.
Yep.
Yeah. So you needed,
I
think, an 18. Yeah, trying to get your general, and then I needed a 17. And I got a 16 or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
I went forward 1 inch, and then that way.
Yeah,
that's right. Oh, that was
because they're frenzy, so they've obviously got to go in if they can. And you've pushed these guys back, and then obviously it's your turn next. So
but you're right. We haven't up on the top right here. I've missed it as a camera picture. The spider did not last against that.
Nah.
Crypt. What's it called? The Ghoul King. Whatever his name is.
Yeah, the Ghoul King on the Terrorgeist. So he was
coming in. I think he rolled 5 hits, 5 wounds, and then they all D6'd. Is that right?
Yeah, something close to that. Yeah, he's done a bunch of wounds. So he's got the Ogre Blade. The good thing about the Strigoi Ghoul King is the hatred. So you're coming in like weapon skill 6 is like initiative 7 or something. He's actually really, really good. This is where people were sort of saying, "Oh, vamps aren't that strong." I've actually found that guy's a bit of a beast. Like he was just.
I think. We can go on probably this in the pod as well. But I was thinking, like originally one of my lists was like itching uses and stuff, like D3, minus D3 initiative and stuff. Like you really need to combo some of that stuff to bring him down. Because there was a couple of times where I got in combat, not with anything big, but you were still going first.
Yeah, like you were charging me and I was still going first. Yeah. So I think that was turn.
Yeah, and then so I'd still managed to get the Mangler in by the look of it into your Terrorgeist. So we probably didn't, the way we charged there really made no difference. The boss and the ghouls are having a bit of a fight, but with 1 wound left, he was still alive miraculously.
He was.
There. Yeah. And I'm just trying to bring up these. I can't remember. They may have even. Sorry, they had to charge. The Squigs failed their impetuous and had to try and charge your. Because this is pre-moving that random guy.
Yeah.
Had to try and charge your Terrorgeist, but didn't roll high enough. I probably would have liked them going in because that would have helped, but they probably would have got wiped out before they could have attacked anyway. Because that's what happens to the Mangler, I believe. He goes in, and your guy still wiped him out. I don't know what I rolled with my impact hits. Mustn't have been that good.
I think this is where you took a couple of wounds off or a wound off.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's tough. Tough in the regen. I think I've saved a bit.
Yeah. Now at some point I brought up the wizard and I was bubbling that initial spell that gave the other guys
the weapon skill,
more higher weapon skill and all this sort of stuff to try and buff these Black Orcs. But you've followed up in your last turn after that challenge. So because I remember you were umming and ahhing that, and that's when I was like, I wasn't sure if you were going to fly out of there or not with him. But I brought the chariot in, so if I've got any closer shots, probably not. The chariot went in the flank here, and what I've done is I brought up I marched as much as I could my night goblins up right behind because I wanted them as close as I could to his general, knowing that I could drop the fanatics in his turn. So that was the plan here, because I know these Black Orcs aren't going to last very long. The biggest thing is that hopefully they would not run away with the Black Orcs breaking, but we'll see what happens. And then, it looks like combat. Yeah, you wipe off a lot. It was 7 or 8. It must have been might have been closer to 10. I can't remember what it was. There's only a line of them left. But did I double one it? I can't remember. I rolled just give ground amazingly. So they just
Yeah.
gave ground. I can't remember what it was, but it was a good roll because I've got my general's not in range. Although he may have been in range then, I can't remember. But yeah, it was a fluke.
Yeah, maybe it was
I
in
don't think
range
he
at that point.
was. I don't know. I've charged your
Yeah.
Vargeist, whatever he is, with him, which you can hardly see. That's the thing. My general's not even being used. He's just been fumbling
Yeah,
around.
actually, no, I remember your general was in range of the Black Orcs, but not the Night Goblins.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I
That's
was
right.
hoping
Yeah.
they were gonna run and panic the Night Goblins off, but they didn't because they
And
only moved back. Yeah, a
they
few
didn't do
inches.
anything to your guy, obviously, because they all got wiped out.
Yeah,
The chariot's
yeah,
done 2 to your Vargeist, or whatever it is, Vargulf,
yeah. The
but that's
Vargulf.
about
Yeah,
it. Yeah. So not looking good. Yeah, I've taken off a couple of your Vargeists out there on the left. And the chariot, this other chariot's now gone into those other ghouls, but not doing a whole lot.
yeah. That's right. Yeah, so I followed up your chariot with my Vargulf, which is pretty good because I forgot you could do a rotate 90 and follow up in your flank. Which is really good. I think I was having problems actually getting through the Black Orc armor with the vampire himself because he's got the monster slaying sword, but it's got no AP.
Yeah, that's
So
right. And I
I
had a
think it was
4
the
up or
dragon.
something.
The dragon
Yeah,
was just doing
the
he was the
damage.
one doing the damage. Yeah.
Yeah. That is, I don't know if there's much else. I mean, it looks like my big boss did beat those guys. Did he? He must have. Wow. Oh, it would have been the squig. Did the damage crumble and he must have turned a face, but that was about it.
Yeah.
I think that Mangler dies on this turn, though. I probably didn't get a picture. I don't imagine he would have lived that second turn of combat.
And you
against
also
your
got
guy.
I think you had another picture before the Vargulfs. Your general got in.
Yeah,
My
killed 2 of
Vargeist,
them.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Only
1
had
wound on it.
2 wounds left. Or
Yeah.
yeah.
So the Mangler definitely dies. And so it goes into your turn. And the first thing I do is dump 3 fanatics here.
Yeah, it's so cool you can do it on the start of anybody's phase.
So good. I was thinking until I realized you got to have Night Goblin bosses for every unit of Night Goblins. Because initially I was like, oh man, what's stopping you just taking units of 10 and 3 fanatics? Because it adds up to about 120, 110 points or something. But you need to bring a big boss along as well. So the whole thing ends up costing. It's still pretty cheap. I think it's in that 130 range, 120, 130 range.
Not
with
bad.
a boss, 10 Night Goblins and 3 fanatics. I was like, man, if you spammed a few of them, they're as good as chaff in some sense. They're just a bit slow. So, but, the right strategy, there might be an option there. It'd be quite funny.
Yeah, 100%.
But anyway, this top-down view, the first thing I did was unload them. This is all on your turn, and all 3 went through your dragon.
Yep.
And did nothing. It's the only thing I just needed it to do something. And did I roll bad, or was it just I can't remember. Was it
so you got 4
hits or the
through
saves and the regens?
I'm pretty sure it was this one where you got 4 through, and I failed, or maybe you got 4 or 5 through or something, and I failed. Or did I not have a save at all? I had a 6 up, 5 up, 5 up, I believe, and it was on the regen and the ward. I got 2 regens, then 2 wards.
Yeah.
So I remember, it was just like it was ridiculous. I'm like, oh god.
Well, that's probably mathematically fine, but it was just like that's my last ditch effort to do something, and it just didn't.
Yeah, I felt like you didn't do too bad roll wise. Like I think you got 10 or 12 wounds or something. Like hits going through. So I don't think
at this
it was
point,
too
it's
bad.
my turn. I was like, man, if I could have damaged it down to he had a couple left or something, then maybe I could have got my general into him and then might have done some damage. I don't know what I can do about these. Terrorgeist would have come in after that, but I was like, oh, come on. Would have even double charged 2 wyverns into it after that point, but was not to be. So then, what other charges did you end up with? Just probably the Terrorgeist there. Looks like it overran.
Yeah, the Terrorgeist.
Probably blew up my Mangler, and then you've charged in your turn.
Blew up the Mangler and then went into the squigs. And then I didn't have too much left, so what do I have? That Vargulf's. He's still there. And I've still got some ghouls over on the right.
You wiped out a bunch of them, and then you overran. Ate them.
Yeah. I ate them. Yeah.
My little cave squig dude's still alive with his 1 wound, which is amazing.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm still hanging
Yeah,
out
it
there.
did quite well.
Yeah, looks like I've killed a few more guys, but did I hold?
Yeah,
I can't
so
remember.
I don't know if I killed them down to a man and then they panicked from destroy.
It looks like, because you're not in that picture there. So that's the next picture. So I think you
Yep.
killed him to a man and overran or something, because I'm not in the picture. And then I think my night goblins did run, didn't they?
Yeah, because I think they ran and did I don't know if I clipped them. No, because they kept running. That's right.
Yep.
They kept going. I was on a different angle.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So they were on a different angle, so I couldn't actually clip them on the way out. And you can see there, sorry, I've raised 3 zombies.
Yes, that's right.
They're just hanging out. They weren't really doing anything.
Killed one chariot.
Yeah. Yep, and the chariot, finally got.
And this other chariot's not doing anything. And then looks like, I took out your VAR. But this is all my generals done in like half a game, is killed. I mean, I don't know how many points those guys are, but it was a bit annoying. He just didn't do anything.
I think they're 180 odd points. Saying that, we had a bunch of failed charges at each other and a bit of a
exactly.
But
I mean, that's half.
standoff.
I'm over double that point. Spent all the time fumbling around out there. This must. This is still saying vamp turn 3, but I don't know if it's.
Maybe that's just how we ended up.
Yeah, could have been.
Yeah, so I must have overran with my Vargul from the right. And then this would be your turn, the next one.
Yeah, and then so I went in to just get rid of this guy because there wasn't anything else. I didn't want to bring my wizard in, right? I mean, he wasn't going to do anything anyway.
Yeah.
And then put my general into your Vargolf to try and get rid of him.
Yep.
It looks like the chariot must have killed your ghouls on the last turn and then was able to charge because I'm in combat there. So maybe that's what happened.
Yep.
The fanatics have spun around. I think I lost 1 to a double maybe, but that was about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's right. My this guy took out the wyvern took out your ghoul and I failed his restraint and he had to overrun through his fanatic.
He went through the fanatic.
Took a wound. And then my random mover dude, my little boss, went up the bum of the Terragos to try and at least do something. But didn't do anything. And then into your turn 4, your general comes back in the fray and charges my general, who has killed your Vargolf by then. It looks like the chariot's dead too.
Yeah. I forget did you fail your overrun possibly?
No, the chariot is back there. I think I decided 2 over because he's in the forest. I think I decided 2 overrun. I can't remember.
And I could just see him possibly,
Yeah, that's something like that. And then you've ended up being able to see him, so you came in combat, charged him. And this is pretty much the last slide because boom.
Got the odds. Yeah.
Basically, that was funny how you rolled all this, but you got the spell off. You did all that stuff. I tried to dispel it, obviously. And then you did all the rolls, and then your wounds were 5 and 6, and then I saved everything, and then we're like, and you're like, yeah, that's the problem with this guy. He doesn't have any AP. And then we're like, oh, hang on, he's got the Monster Slayer. I said, didn't you roll a 6? And you're like, oh yeah, 5 and a 6. And then
yeah.
Like,
I think you helped me out with
got
that
a ward
actually.
save
I completely forgot.
Yeah, but then he's only have the ward. That's right. We looked that up and I rolled it and I failed and he died. That's when I went, it's probably game over. I've got nothing. I've got a wyvern and a chariot and they're soon going to be taken out. So that was pretty much the end of the game. And it went, I don't know. We did do a post video, but the quality was crap. Next time I'll use my phone and not the shitty webcam. I don't know, what was your thoughts? I mean, mine was, man, the right mounts, they're going to be a challenge. But having said that, the more you think about it, there's probably some options, but they're also going to be, I don't know. It's almost like some of the options are just bring your own big guys. I don't know.
Yeah, which is a little bit frustrating. But I'm hoping people start making counters that are, or creating counters that are more cost effective. Almost like, do you want to start risking taking a 600 point model when there's going to be, especially at a tournament where there's going to be a lot of guys running counter builds that might only be like 200 or 300
I think you're
points.
right there, and we'll probably talk about it in the pod, but that's exactly right. Like in a tournament where you know you're going to come up with across a lot more different armies, that might hold you back. And then in a friendly, you can just agree not to take certain things. So it's not like you always have to have like we didn't go overboard here in terms of saying let's bring the nasties. I just did a fun double wyvern list, and you probably realised I was taking 2 wyverns, so you took some fun stuff. Well, that's fine. But I think if I knew, like if you were optimising this list, I could probably still do some things with the orcs to try and do a bit more damage. And then obviously I just didn't deploy very well and a whole bunch of stuff. But it is what it is.
After my last game was like, obviously with the skeletons was quite quite uneventful from my behalf. I was sort of like, well, I might take a bit of a beefier list. Because that Ghoul King last time went really well. Just
and just put him on a Terrorgeist. What's his saves like? So. Who would you, knowing what you do now, because I know you're doing some analysis of how do we take on the big guys, because we want to do that as a podcast and another video. Who out of those two are easier to kill?
The Ghoul King, 100%.
Yeah, because he's just got because he doesn't have any of that save. He's just got the save from the Terrorgeist
and a
regen. Is that a 6 or a 5-up regen on that thing?
Yeah, 5-up regen and a what is it? I think it's only a 6-up save on the Terrorgeist. Like it's not. So
that's the thing. So like in another deployment with me, even with me, maybe I would have been better off trying to somehow, even if it meant putting both wyverns and spider together near him to try and hit him as much. But then your guy can fly around as well, your necromancer. So at some point you got to they're hard to chaff a flying dude, So
yeah, well they've got the big base, which kind of sucks trying to move around those big bases. Like they're very hard to sort of hide a bit compared to some people got the dragons and they're lucky they've got like that 50 by 100 base. So
but like more squig hopper, they've random moves, but manglers and squig hoppers and 2 doom divers, you never know, you might be able to knock something right down. So there is options. It's just first go, it's a bit hard to know, and you go, oh crap, that thing's way better than I thought.
Yeah, I reckon doom divers.
Terrorgeist didn't do much last game, so I wasn't too worried.
Yeah, I know. It didn't do anything last game. Literally, it screamed and just didn't do anything. So. Yeah. Cool.
Anyway, well, that was our first stream and second game of Old World. We'll definitely be having some more in the future, and let us know if you like it's 40 minutes still, but a short version of it, because I do feel like being able to have long live streams and then obviously always have some short ones and not ones that are live streams as well. But if we do a live stream, just summarize it so the people who don't have time. So if you like that, let us know. Anything else, Andrew? Otherwise, I'll sign off and let the guys go and hit subscribe and hit the bell button if they haven't already.
Well, there'll be a bunch of content out from you this week, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned to Old World Fanatics, and hit subscribe and like, and we'll see